Hey everyone, Shaun Stevenson here, author of the Throne series, helping you find your next retro read. And today I've got a ton of Goosebumps books because this is episode number 6 of The Quest for the 62. I have been on a quest to try and find all 62 of the original Goosebumps books in the wild. So no ordering online, none of that. I gotta find it in the used bookstore. And I found a few. I have found a few, and now I am down to just a couple left until I have the entire collection of the original 62. Now, my one disclaimer about that is I have a couple of reprint editions of the original 62 books, which one of them is one of the ones I found just recently. So I still will be looking to replace those, but I'm getting close to having a copy of each book from the original 62. So let's dive in because there's so many to go over. It is wild. First up, I picked up a couple of collections. So these are these hardbound books that have a few Goosebumps books collected in them. So I found a copy of Monster Edition number 1. And this one I actually got at a library sale, which I was very excited about. They had it there at the library, and this one has 3 books in it. It has Welcome to the Dead House, Stay Out of the Basement, and Say Cheese and Die. And so this is Monster Edition number 1. I love the cover of this one because it has Curly on it, the official Goosebumps mascot, even though Curly never appears in a book. But this one I was super excited about. It's in pretty good shape too. Like for an ex-library copy, I was super excited about this one. Then this one was not as good of shape, but that's okay. But I also found a collection at that same library sale, a collection of the Campfire collection in hardback. Now this one, it's got a little bit of sticky, and I'm still working on getting the sticky off of it. I couldn't get this off either. So I'm still working on getting some of these stickers off of this particular edition. But this one, the Campfire collection, it contains 3 different books. It has The Curse of Camp Cold Lake, Ghost Camp, and Welcome to Camp Nightmare, all contained inside this 3-book volume. So I was super excited to find this one. I actually used to have this one, and I believe I gave it to my brother. And so I believe he has it, but now I've got my own copy, even though it's so sticky. So I gotta fix that, but eventually I will. Next up, I found a Goosebumps Presents in hardback, one of the permabound editions, and that was The Girl Who Cried Monster. I also got this one at the library sale. That library sale was a jackpot of Goosebumps books. So I found this edition of The Girl Who Cried Monster in hardback. So I was very excited to find this copy. It's in really good shape too, like for being, a library copy that's been checked out multiple times. But this one is a Goosebumps Presents. So if you don't know about the Goosebumps Presents, these are like retellings of the episodes of the TV show. And these permabound editions are pretty sought after because they're hardbacks, obviously, which there are not a lot of hardback Goosebumps books out there. Most of them are paperback. So I was super excited to find this one because I didn't have it yet in the Goosebumps Presents. And I believe this is number 1. You can almost see it on the spine there. TV episode number 1. So this is the first book in the Goosebumps Presents series. Next up, I found another copy of a Most Wanted book from the Goosebumps Most Wanted series, which is a newer series. And this one I actually found at Goodwill. I haven't been really hardcore going after this series yet because I'm still, like I said, trying to collect the earlier ones. So, and I see these all the time everywhere. So I'm not as worried about finding them, but I do collect them. If I find them at Goodwill for 99 cents, I'll pick them up. But otherwise at stores right now, they're still $3 to $4 each. And I'm they're going to go cheaper, I'm sure. But I found this one in the Goosebumps Most Wanted series, and this is book number 9, Here Comes the Shaggity. I don't know what's going on this cover, but I did find this one. I have not read it yet, so I haven't read any of the Most Wanteds, I don't believe. I'm thinking about that. Yes, I have not read any of the Most Wanted books yet. So I've read one of the Slappy World books, but I have not read Most Wanted. So I'm still collecting all of these, obviously, and we'll see what happens once I read them. And then next up, this one was a really interesting book. I actually found this one, I believe where was I? I believe I was in Florida when I found this book, and this one was really interesting. I had never heard of it before, and it goes with something that is so classic for my childhood, and that is Pogs. Now, Pogs, if you don't know what they were like these round little like milk cap kind of things that were made of like a really hard cardboard. And what you would do is you had slammers that were made of plastic, and you'd slam the slammers on the Pogs and try and flip them over. And if you flipped them over, you could collect them. At least that's how me and my friends played. But I found the Goosebumps official collector's caps book. Now this says it comes with 16 caps, but this did not have the caps in it. But it's unwritten in, which I was really excited about, because in this book there's a ton of puzzles and word searches and different codes and clues you have to solve in order to get information about upcoming Goosebumps books, at least for the time. One of them, for instance, you have to unscramble this code and it reveals the title of a new Goosebumps book coming out called The Horror at Camp Jelly Jam. And I thought, oh, that's so fun. I wish, obviously I wish I could have had this when I was back then as a kid, reading these and then getting those clues and be like, oh, what's that going to be about? Like, that would have been so fun. But this one is pretty interesting. So it goes through each of the different caps and kind of talks about what happens in that book and who the characters are. And then there are also like codes and clues that you have to solve, and it'll tell you to do things to solve a secret code that's hidden inside of the letters there. So I thought this was really fun and just a great little addition to my Goosebumps collection, and it'll go up on the shelf. Next up, I found quite a few Give Yourself Goosebumps books. I mean, there are like 40 something of them. So I got a little ways to go on Give Yourself Goosebumps, but I found a few more. So here are the ones that I found. So I just found recently, I had been at this store and it was called Carol's Old Book Barn. And I went to this store and I was like looking around and everything. And as I was looking around, I heard someone come in, and this lady said to the worker up at the front, like, oh, I know you're only supposed to trade in 2 bags at a time, but I have 3 bags. Is it okay if I trade in 2 and my husband trades in 1? And the worker said, oh yeah, that's totally fine. I actually think the worker was Carol, from what I remember. So Carol's telling her, yeah, that's not a problem. You can totally do that. And so I didn't really pay much attention to it because I was deep looking for books, trying to find what I could find. And then I walked past the front counter and I saw what she was trading in. And it was an entire 3 bags full of Goosebumps books. And I am not kidding, there were like 100 different Goosebumps books there. Now, most of them I had, but I asked Carol after the lady had left, and the Carol was starting to sticker them. And I asked, like, are those Goosebumps books? Like, obviously they were. But I said, are those Goosebumps books? Can I look at them? And Carol said, yes, come on over. I already know I'm going to price all of them $4 each. $4 each. And so I said, okay. And so I went back behind the counter where she let me come look at the Goosebumps books. I looked through every single one, and I found some that I needed, not only for the original 62, which we'll get to those in a second, but quite a few Give Yourself Goosebumps. I'm not kidding you. I bought so many of those Goosebumps books because I couldn't believe what I was seeing. There were like Series 2000 in there, ones I didn't have, original 62 ones, including a couple rare ones. I'll get to it. And some Give Yourself Goosebumps. So I grabbed as many as I didn't have. So here's the first one that I picked up, and that is book number 2. This one's not as exciting, but book number 2 would Give Yourself Goosebumps, and this is TikTok, You're Dead. I didn't have this one yet, and so I'm super excited because now I have like 1 through 10, I believe, all the way through, and then a few more past that. But this is one of the Give Yourself Goosebumps. These are like Choose Your Own Adventure Goosebumps books. So this one is number 2, TikTok, You're Dead. And then at the same time, I also picked up book number 9, The Knight in Screaming Armor. And I love these foil covers. I think they're so awesome. And here's a blast from the past. This book was purchased at Kmart back in the day for $2.99. I was super excited to find this one. These were all in pretty good shape, honestly. Like, they definitely look like they've been probably sitting on a shelf. I'm actually not going to take that Kmart sticker off because it's history. So this one was book number 9, The Knight in Screaming Armor. And then I also found there book number 16, Secret Agent Grandma in the Give Yourself Goosebumps with another one of those great foil covers. It's in super great shape. This is such an odd cover picture, but I was so excited to find this one. I couldn't even believe it. And then I also found while I was there, book number 17, Little Comic Shop of Horrors. Brandon from Mr. Mortman's library told me I need to read this one because he really wants to know what I think of it. So I'm gonna have to get to this one soon here because I'm curious what Brandon was pointing out about this one. I'm super intrigued. So this one I was super excited to find. I couldn't believe all of these Give Yourself Goosebumps that I picked up. And those covers are so cool. I just love it so much. And then I happened to be at an antique store, and at this antique store, this was a few months ago, I was just looking through and they had literally, it was like the antique store kind of thing, where they had like tons of old, dusty books that no one actually cares about, like history book. I mean, someone cares about history, I know, but history books that no one really ever cares about except to now to make them into decor. But I was just looking through because I thought, you never know what you're going to find. And there on the shelf, I saw that black spine and I picked this one out. I picked out number 24, Lost in Stink Eye Swamp, sitting right there on the shelf and with a Kmart sticker as well. These ones must have really been sold at Kmart quite a bit. But this one is another Give Yourself Goosebumps, Lost in Stink Eye Swamp. It's one of the black spines, which are a little harder to find than the foil ones. So I was super excited to find this one at an antique store for no less, and they were only selling it for like $1. So I thought, well, I am definitely grabbing that. So I was super excited to find this one. And then this is another one I picked up at Carol's Old Book Barn, and that is book number 41, Danger Time. I feel like whoever turned in those books must have liked all the ones with clocks, because there were even a couple copies of Cuckoo Clock of Doom as well. So I was like, maybe they were into the Goosebumps clock stories. I don't know. But this is another Give Yourself Goosebumps, another one of those black spines, number 41, Danger Time. And then my parents actually found this one and sent it to me, and it is in pristine condition. Like, I am pretty sure this has not even been read, and I was so excited. So this is one of the special edition Give Yourself Goosebumps, the Power Play special editions, and this is number 3, Trapped in the Circus of Fear. This one is in such good shape. I couldn't believe it. Like, I mean, look at that. I just couldn't even believe that they found this one, and they found it for only like $2. I believe it was at a garage sale, if I remember correctly. Someone was just selling it, and they asked me like, oh, do you have this one? And I said, no, get that right now. So they did, and they sent it to me. So I was super excited to find this. Thank you, Mom and Dad. I really appreciate you supporting this YouTube hobby. So then I found 2 more in the Tales to Give You Goosebumps series. So this one I also got at Carol's Old Book Barn. I'm telling you, it was a treasure trove. So I found this one, which is also in like pristine condition. It's number 4, 10 Spooky Stories, special edition number 4, Still More Tales to Give You Goosebumps. So this one also in such great condition. I couldn't believe it. I was so excited to find this one. This one is like short stories from the Goosebumps world. And so I really am excited about this because this one seems to be all kind of Halloween kind of stories. So it is Halloween season as of the recording of this video. So what a better time to read this one, which I probably will be getting to very soon here, than Halloween time. So I'm so excited that I found this one. And then at that library sale, I also found book number 5, More and More Tales to Give You Goosebumps, special edition number 5, 10 Spooky Stories. So this one, it does have that like plastic, you can kind of see in the reflection of the light there. It does have that like plastic cover that libraries often put on paperback books, which I'm okay with that. I mean, it's going to protect it. It's not in the worst condition. It's not in pristine condition, but it will protect it, you know, from deteriorating a little better, but it has that plastic. I don't want to try taking it off because it probably will take like off the cover printing. But this one I was super excited to find too at that library sale. All of those books were like 25 cents and they went to a good cause to help the library. So I'm always all about that. So go visit library sales. You never know what you're going to find. They sometimes have stuff like this that they are just discontinuing and putting out of their circulation. So go pick these up at those library sales. Telling you, they are treasure troves. So then I also found a few Goosebumps Series 2000 books. I found 4 more of these that I didn't have yet, and I was super excited to find them because I really like Series 2000 books. I've read a couple so far, and I really enjoy them. So I found a couple more, and I'm really excited about that. So the first one I found was Creature Teacher. And this is book number 3 in the Goosebumps Series 2000. And this one I found at this hilarious store where there were these 2 workers who they were so funny. I talked to them for probably like 25 minutes and we just all chatted about books and different things. And we were just laughing so hard about books. And we were talking about spine chillers, like so many different fun things. And while they were putting books out in the middle grade room, and I was looking at the shelf on the other side, and they said, "Oh, here are those Goosebumps books. Where should we put these?" And I turned around and said, "Goosebumps." And they said, "Oh, he's looking for the Goosebumps over there. He's looking for them." So they brought me the stack to look through. So I went and I found this one, and I was so excited. Some of the other ones that they had, I already had. But I was like, I don't have that one. Goosebumps Series 2000 book, I am picking that up. And what was really awesome about this particular bookstore was it's a not-for-profit bookstore. So after all the money that goes just to pay the lights and the workers, they donate everything to charities to support kids without families. So I was like, oh, this is super cool. I love what this store is doing. I'm super excited to support, this store by buying some awesome books that I'm looking for, as well as, supporting an awesome charity. So that was really awesome. I was super excited to find this one and add it to the shelf. So then back to Carol's old book barn, I found 3 more Goosebumps Series 2000 books there. The first one I found was book number 9, Are You Terrified Yet? Which, I'm not going to lie, spider books are not my favorite. Last time, if you've seen my video on the Heebie-Jeebies book, Along Came a Spider, while I was literally reading that book, a spider crawled across my foot, and I definitely screamed. So spider books and I don't always have the best of time, but I'm excited to have this one, and I will read it. I will get to it. But this one is really an awesome cover. I can't wait to read this one. And then this one seems so disgusting, but I am also so intrigued by it. And that is book number 12, Brain Juice, which I have no idea what this one's about. I don't know what's happening in this book, but it just seems disgusting to me. Like the little tagline said, "A mind is a terrible thing to drink." I agree. I highly agree. I think that's disgusting. So I don't know what's happening in this book. We will find out when I read it. And then I'm excited to have this one, but I'm not as excited to read it because the first book in the original 62 series that this particular book's a sequel to, I did not love. And I know it's like some of people's favorite entries in the whole series, but I just didn't love it. But I did find book number 13, Return to Horrorland. So obviously I'm excited to have this copy. I'm not necessarily excited to read it. I don't know if it's better or not than the first one. We'll have to see, because the first one, One Day at Horrorland, I just didn't really love. And I do feel bad about that. I do, because I know people love that book. I just didn't love it, mainly because of the ending. I didn't really love the ending, but you can watch my review if you want my thoughts on it. But no spoilers, of course, if you haven't read it. But if you know, you know. And I just didn't like the end. So now to the 3 original series Goosebumps books that I found, that I'm so excited I found, and I can't wait. I can't wait to show these to you, because these were at Carol's old book barn, and I literally couldn't believe it. I gasped out loud, especially at one of them, that I was like, "You're only selling this for $4? Like, are you sure?" She was sure. So the first one I found was book number 57, My Best Friend is Invisible, which I love this cover. I feel like the colors on this cover are so great. I think the pinks and purples and blues with the orange and the yellow, it just looks so good in my opinion. I'm so excited I found this one because obviously this is up there in the high 50s, which are harder to find, very difficult to get a hold of. And so, but I was super excited to find this. I had to internally hold myself together until I got to the car where I called my brother and I said, guess what I just found? And I was so excited. So I found 57. Here we go. My best friend is invisible. Now this next one, it's a little bit of a cheat, but I'm still counting it as part of the original 62 because the story is the story, but it's a reprint cover. So I do want to find the original cover eventually, but I found a copy of Deep Trouble 2, book number 58 in the reprint edition. Now this one also another higher 50s one. It's difficult to find. Again, I would love to find the original printing of it, and I am going to always keep my eye out for it, but I do have now book number 58, which I don't barely ever see the reprint edition of this one. So I'm super excited that I found this one there at Carol's Old Book Barn, picked it up, and I am adding it to the shelf for sure. And here we go. This one was the one that I found that I couldn't believe. This was so amazing. I literally gasped when I saw it. I had to hold myself together because Carol was over there stickering other books. And I was like, I need to hold it together right now. I do not need to make a scene in Carol's Old Book Barn. But I found a copy for $4 of book number 61, I Live in Your Basement. I literally couldn't believe it. When I saw this in there, I thought, oh, no way, 61 in the wild? This is wild. I was so excited to find this one, and I can't wait. It's in fairly good shape. It's not in 100% the best shape, but it's in fairly good shape, I would say. It doesn't have any spine creases or anything, and it looks pretty good. A little bit frayed at the edges there, but overall, in great condition. And I'm so excited that I found this one. I just literally couldn't believe it, that this one was just sitting there on the shelf. I thought I was only 2 books away, but I'm actually 3 books away. So now the only 3 I don't have are Don't Go to Sleep, number 54, number 60, Werewolf Skin, and number 62, Monster Blood 4. So those are the only 3 I have left to find. And I'm always on the hunt. I know someday I will find them all, and I will have all original 62. But that day, it's not yet, but it's coming. So until next time, there will be more episodes of The Quest for the 62 because the quest ain't over yet. So stay tuned for more from The Quest for the 62. And until next time, everybody, keep reading. Bye.